I generated $118,000 in just 5 days by copying Alex Hormozi's $100 million fast cash strategy from this playbook. So in this video, I'm going to be revealing every part of the strategy that he has never revealed before, including who to target, what to sell them, how many to sell, how to sell it, and then also give you 5 reasons why these sorts of offers you need to be running every 90 days and can increase your revenue by up to 70%. Crazy. So what happened was that some time ago I ran a offer where this client needed to increase the revenue for whatever reason. They needed to increase the revenue for this particular month, and so I went back to their existing audience. I bundled together all of their existing products that were softwares and then created what I called a mega bundle and then offered it at a crazy, crazy discount. And I created all of the landing pages, all the VSLs, all of the emails that went out, and basically masterminded the whole thing, and then took the things that already existed, positioned it slightly differently, called it something slightly different, put a crazy price tag on it, put a higher price on it, and then blasted the email list, and we generated, you can see here, $118,000 gross in 5 days and took home $110,000. This was following what Alex Hormozi details as his fast cash strategy. And so if you're a business owner that needs to increase your revenue and you don't want to acquire more customers, but you've got a pile of customers already, you can go back to them and sell them something crazy and make a ton of money. And so this is how it works. So what does fast cash mean? Fast cash plays are limited time offers advertised to your warmest audience, right? And it's usually your current customers. So it's like cashing in a winning ticket you already own once a quarter. So your warmest list is proven. You've already paid to acquire it. Many people are afraid to go back to their existing audience and try and sell them something more, but they chose to be a customer because they like you, they know you, they trust you, right? So it's a short, intense promotion where you sell a high-value, high-touch version of what you already do. The offer is scarce on purpose. Limited spots, short window, premium pricing, right? So the goal here is to make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time from people who are most likely to buy from you. Some examples could be a one-on-one call for a set number of people, or a black book bonus, scripts, templates, systems bundled together with a much higher price point than what they usually spend, masterminds, retreats, private dinners, etc. So I'm going to give you a whole bunch more to sort of trigger the juices, and if you're listening here, hopefully you can implement some of this stuff immediately into your business. Now, who are we trying to target with something like this, right? So if you want to make money, this is what you do. If you don't want to make money, then this is not the video for you. But a big problem that I see is that people spend all their time and energy trying to acquire a customer, and then they make one purchase, and then the lifetime value is that one purchase, and then they discard them and try and find somebody else. When the truth is, it's so much easier to sell to your existing audience, increase the lifetime value, and go back and sell them promotions and give them tons of value because they already know, like, and trust you. You've already delivered on the promise that you told them you give them before, and so they're much more likely to make another purchase. And by creating urgency and scarcity around an offer that's a limited time, then you can drive a ton of revenue. So who are we targeting first? Obviously, our current customers. That's the core, that's the best group to target. The next best is our past customers, and then obviously engaged leads, but most of the sales will come from current customers, and it'll be the most likely to convert because they already trust you, they've already bought from you. Past customers, they trusted you, but they've dropped off for one reason or another. Don't think that you can't ever contact them again, right? Unless they blasted you on social media and said how terrible of a business you are, in which case you probably need to fix that, then running a fast cash play. And then people who are an engaged lead, but they're kind of like on the fence and they just need a reason to be pushed over the fence. Okay, so they consume your content, they're on your email list, They maybe have downloaded a bunch of lead magnets. You might have even joined your free school group. Speaking of, here I have almost 4,500 members inside the free Dopamine Digital School group, where every day, literally every single day, I'm breaking down a funnel or a marketing framework or a sales script or some kind of something that's going to help you grow your business. Some of the greatest marketers in the world, this is the one place where all of their content is broken down, shared, and unpacked in an easy to understand way so that you can apply it to your business. And if you want access to all of it, all you need to do is click the link below and join the free school group. So you can see here all the Miro boards from all of this stuff, all the access to private custom GPTs and AI that has been custom trained on a whole bunch of stuff is inside this school group. So make sure you join that. First link in the description. So that would be a good example of an engaged lead, people inside that school group. Now, what should we sell them here? Now, as a rule of thumb, sell the most scarce, premium, unscalable thing you can. Okay? So it needs to be scarce, premium, and unscalable. Think limited seats or limited time, premium. So it's like high ticket, not just discounts. Think about, you don't want to take your existing product and just discount it for a limited time. You want to take your existing product, add a whole bunch of extra premium white glove support to it, and then charge 3 times the price, add in a whole bunch of bonuses, and then only have 100 spots for the next 7 days. That's more what we're talking about. Unscalable. So things you can't normally do at scale, which makes them feel way more special. So think like workshops, live events, things like that. If you look at some of the value levers that Hormozi talks about here, it'll hopefully get the juices flowing like I mentioned. So you want to try and pull the different value levers across a couple of different things here. You want attention, personalization, convenience, status, and duration, speed, experience, access, network, and secrets. And so with attention, can you give them direct access to you? It could be one-on-one. It could be many-to-one where your entire team supports one client, or it feels like a bit of a red carpet VIP treatment. Some kind of personalization. Can you offer custom tailored solutions? Instead of like if you normally offer a generic thing, can you create a custom tailored thing? And they get something built specifically for their needs. So if you normally offer a do-it-yourself course, can you offer a done with you part of the course? Or can you add the course with a phone call and then a audit and a 90-day plan? Things like that. And then instead of charging like a $197, you can charge like a $597 or a $999 or something like that. And you can cap it at 10, And so you're able to generate so much more revenue like that. Because there are going to be people in your existing audience that either have purchased from you and they wish that they could buy the tier above that, like direct access to you, or people on the fence who are like, I'd love to have this done, do-it-yourself version, but I know that I need the accountability, etc., etc., and so they jump at the chance for the higher touch one. Like convenience, could you give them extra access that makes their life easier? Some sort of 24/7 support, priority scheduling, flexible time slots, status. Like I'm working currently on an offer for a client where it's a piece of software, and if they purchase this upsell, one of the bonuses in the upsell is going to be a special badge inside of the software app that nobody else is going to have. And so you might think that sounds silly, but inside of school, like you can see here that people have these rocket emojis next to their names. The guy has GOAT next to his name. You have Ninja if you've gone over 300K MRR. And so it's a massive flex. And once upon a time, I had this star next to my name. And people were reaching out and congratulating me, and I felt like I had some status, And so I don't know about you, but in a group of people where I like and respect them, I want them to like and respect me. If I can flex that little star next to my name, it's a massive boost in status. And so people will do crazy things for an increase in status, especially if you're a man. Duration. So can you extend out timelines? Go from go up to 6 months or 12 months or lifetime access even, instead of standard shorter term packages. Can you get to front of the line, like a front of the line promise? Like can you manipulate speed somehow? So instead of saying that you get the thing within 90 days, can you give it to them in 48 hours? Instant, or even like, can they have instant access to you? So instead of it taking a week for you to respond, can it be instant? Can you have priority onboarding, guaranteed turnaround in hours instead of days? And then obviously experience, like think white glove moments here, concierge support, surprise gifts, private dinners, luxury touches that feel special, memorable, those sorts of things. And then obviously access is another massive one. People want to know what's going on behind the scenes. Like I had a call the other day with Carmen, and she said, I'd love to know what goes on behind the scenes in Jordan building businesses, because we see like a very short glimmer of your life when you're presenting these videos, but we know you run this and that, and you work with these clients and all of that kind of stuff, and we'd love to know, like, what does a day in the life look like? Well, I could gate a behind the scenes video content behind something, and I could give you exclusive access to that if you took action immediately and got into my high-ticket thing, for example. You could do something similar. You could run in-person events, meetups, it could even literally just be like Hormozi has workshops, and that's one of the reasons that I joined. It's one of the reasons I joined the ACQ Scale Advisory, because inside here, he's got all of these marketing, all of these workshops, and I'm currently breaking it down. It was a 4-hour workshop where he went over all the marketing secrets that he's accumulated over 15, 20 years or something. And so I'm going to be breaking that down. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Okay. Network introductions, connections. So again, this is another reason why I joined this, because there are all these people inside the community, and I've already connected with 3 of them, right? And so this is like massive value, having access to this network. So you can do something similar. Can you introduce them to your warm network? Can you give them a list of vetted freelancers? Like, I know half the battle of growing and scaling a business is finding competent people. If I give you a list of 20 of the people that I work with personally, freelancers that I go to and work with like currently, how much is that worth to you, Secrets, insider knowledge, black books, proven vendor lists, hidden strategy, secret menus. So Hormozi did this with his launch black book, and that for some reason, that's the reason that I tipped over the edge and I purchased the $6,000 upsell, which allowed me to get all these books, all this value, and I didn't even realize all the stuff that it was hidden behind the rest of it. I was just like, that tipped me over the edge. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back, or whatever you want to call it. And so even though I've looked at the black book briefly, I've gone through it, I think it's a ton of value. This has been unbelievable, going through this sort of stuff. And so ACQAI as well was just absolutely game-changing. And so even though I purchased it because of the black book, all the other value I've gotten has been like 10 times that already. So whatever you can do to push people over the edge, do that. So examples for a coaching business could be, you've only got 10 spots for a private weekend intensive. An agency could give you a done-for-you ads rebuild this month only, and you usually do some kind of done-with-you or do-it-yourself solution. Ecom, you could offer a VIP box where you've got personalized bundles and signed limited editions, etc. So get creative with it, and you'll find something. Now, how many to sell? This is really important because you can't offer it forever. It needs to feel special and scarce. And so the very nature of the scarcity is around, it's only available for a limited time. There are only limited units. And the urgency is that it's only available for a limited time. So ideally, you do both. And you need to keep it small. So you don't need hundreds of buyers. You just need 5 to 20 spots. And it's really enough to sell out and create enormous urgency. And if you've got only a certain amount of seats, and try and be genuine here. Like, don't kind of do the whole marketer speak and you go, oh, it's limited time, and then you run it for 6 months. People smell that a mile away, and you get a terrible reputation. So please don't do that. The moment you say only X available, demand shoots up. Scarcity is the lever here. And then the sellout effect. So ideally, if you have a limited spots and it's a limited time, you want to be able to sell out all of the capacity. So if you know that you have a small audience, don't have 500 spots. Have very limited spots. So it always sells out. And what do you charge? Well, as a general rule of thumb, the highest number that you can say out loud without cracking a smile, that's Hormozi's joke. But think about it like 10 to 50x your typical transaction size. And you need to be able to justify the insane amount of value that goes with this. So if I look at the money models and the playbooks that I purchased for $6,000, which I never thought I'd buy a bunch of books for $6,000. Hormozi did such a fantastic job in layering all the value and justifying all the value and then giving all the bonuses and then doing a whole bunch of scarcity and urgency. And I was just like, I would take my credit card, take my money, and I'm so glad that I did. So this is how you sell it. So you've got sort of two paths here. If you are path A, you sell via consultant calls or some sort of online Zoom, where there's a person that's taking an order. Or you sell it through like a Shopify store where you open a cart and everything is automated and people just enter their credit card and they do it themselves. So this works best for high-ticket offers, and it relies on a one-to-one or small group calls to build trust. Lower volume, higher price point, great if your list isn't massive, but your offer has serious margin. So think about like agency services or anything that's high-ticket. And then this path works best for people that are selling something low to mid-ticket. Like you can look at $100 million leads launch. That was a lower ticket sale where he had 3 books to purchase and you get a free hat. And that was, $150 or something. So it creates urgency, limited spots and bonuses, automated checkouts, fast, easy. Perfect for really large audiences that trust you. So Hormozi suggests that this is the general cadence that you should roll out to your list at if you are on the high-ticket side. 7 days out, let them know something big is coming. 6 days out, announcement, email, CTA to book, recap bullets, bonus 1, CTA game, sales update, X left, benefits restated, text nudge. 2 days out until it closes, X spots left, talk about bonus 2, nudge. 24 hours, warning, biggest bonus. And then 12 hours before, this many is sold out or whatever, and then there's an optional wait list. Or if people back out right at the last second, you can get their spot. And then something if you sell like a automated cart checkout is 5-day sort of cadence. Big email tomorrow, announcement email with a price range if needed, cart opens in 48 hours. 24 hours is bonus 1, talk about bonus 1, then make sure to set an alarm, expect a sellout, 60 minutes pre, get ready for payment, cart open announcement, and then post every 60 minutes, X left, 6-hour post, add unseen bonus, 12-hour post, sold out. So the reason that you need to be doing this is, like, if you're thinking, this sounds like a lot of work, well, the cost to acquire these customers is 0. Right? You already acquired them as customers. And so, firstly, what it does, if you roll something like this out every 90 days, not only are you going to be making a ton of money, but it cleans up the pipeline. So it pushes fence sitters who are in your warm audience into becoming a purchaser. And this urgency and scarcity really flips a switch from indecision into action. And it increases your customer value significantly. It raises your LTV a ton. Okay? And also, it helps you segment out your audience of buyers who maybe purchase your low-ticket widget, and now you have the top sort of 1% of your buyers, and you have them easily segmented into a list. And so anytime you want, you can go back to them. Those are your VIPs, right? Those are the guys who are going to follow you no matter what platform you go to. That's your sort of 1,000 fans. And it keeps things fresh. People want to see something new is happening. It adds energy and excitement to your ecosystem so things don't get stale. And it gives you enough time to deliver, reset, and prepare for the next place. If you run one of these every week, people are going to get tired, but every 90 days is like a perfect cadence. And then the beautiful part here is that it's all profit. So if you're not reinventing a new thing, or you're not like adding a whole bunch of extra stuff, even if you are, you're not acquiring the customer. You already have the customer. You've already acquired the lead. You're just now taking that customer and then extracting as much revenue as you can, adding a ton of value, increasing the lifetime value of that customer, and just pocketing basically 90% goes straight to the bottom line. So it's just an absolute no-brainer from every angle. And so 2 quick points to remember here are that you should be offering ultra premium pricing and ultra premium value. You shouldn't be just taking your normal thing and then doing a flash sale. That's not what this is. You're taking your existing thing and adding 10 times the value and then charging 3 times the price. Or, Hormozi's like 10 to 50 times the price. So let's say if you pile on 100 times the value and you charge 10 times the amount, it's a fantastic deal, right? So try not to cheapen the offer. People pay when they feel it's crazy valuable. And one of the examples you could even give, one of the examples that Hormozi even gives inside the book here is that if you could give away your personal cell phone access, how much would you sell that for, right? And so think about it like things like that. So you don't actually need to give your cell phone access, although that's a fantastic idea. You could only give that out to, like, let's say 10 people, or WhatsApp access, or give them like a private WhatsApp group where they can DM you every day and you answer them within an hour. And that's something that you mentioned, right? And I think it's a good. I might actually run that inside my paid group. So think about offering something very rare that's worth paying big money for. That's what you want to think. How much premium you stack so it justifies the price and still delivers margin. So you need to balance that. And fast cash plays should be for your warm audience only, not for a cold audience who don't know who they are, they're not problem aware, solution aware. They need to know that you exist, first of all, and they need to be in your warm audience. They either need to be in warm audience, a customer, or a previous customer. If they've gone cold, you need to warm them up before you send them out something like this and get them back to warm. So just stick to existing customers and recent buyers for maximum hit rate. And so you can see that this was something that allowed us to generate $118,000. This is just one example. I've got another 2 examples where we were able to generate $90,000 in a weekend over Black Friday, and then we were able to generate almost $500,000 in a webinar sale, selling them something that was extremely scarce, that would only sell once a year, and it was like lifetime access to this thing, which usually is a monthly fee. And instead of it was a 10x multiple of what they'd usually pay. But people flooded in, and there were hundreds of customers, and we were able to generate almost $500,000. And so it was one of the reasons that the founders were able to walk away with millions of dollars when they exited the company. So if you want this Miro board, make sure you hop inside the free school group over here, the Dopamine Digital School Group. I'll leave it linked down below. Otherwise, if you want my help putting together some kind of offer like this for yourself, I'll also leave a link to my website here, and you can go through and watch this video in your own time and click this button and go through and fill out the form. If it's a fit, I'll create a free Loom audit of your business, and if you want my help to implement some of the stuff that I teach you and I go through, then we can talk about that as well, but this is completely free. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe. Peace.